Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video for just one more pack. And today we have something a little different for you. As you can see, I've got a framed fiber jar that is ripped in half. My name on it and a handle that says The Boy. Don't have to worry about the boy part or my name, that's not important. But what is important is the story of how this fiber jar became ripped and why it's framed. So, it's not a pack opening today, guys, but if you're interested in something really interesting and a little funny, you will just want to hear this story. So just sit back, relax, hit the like button, and let me tell you about this ripped fiber jar. So we are going to go back about 17 years ago. I lived in a small town, and my best friend and I really enjoyed playing Yu-Gi-Oh! When we could find time to hang out. I'm sure most of you are the same. Him and I both lived on our own, and at the time, every now and then, he would invite me over to his mom's house, and we would hang out while he was over visiting or helping her with various things. He had a niece who lived with his mom as well. She was really young at the time. I think maybe she was around 10 years old. But while we were there, we would always sit and do some duels. We would always bring our cards with us just about everywhere. We were in our young 20s. That was what we loved to do. So everywhere we got a chance to duel, we'd pretty much be dueling. We would sit, we would duel, we would chit chat, and eventually his niece took an interest. We eventually decided that we would try to teach her how to play the game. Basically, she was like 10, thereabouts. So, not entirely able to grasp everything, but she was included, and that's all she really wanted. She wanted to just be part of what we were doing, and she loved that. And so the mom also tried to learn a little bit, but eventually the mom kind of turned around and said, "You know what? This isn't for me. I'll sit here and I'll keep score with you guys." And she agreed that she was going to score keep, and we would play, and she would make us coffee, and we would sit and chat and play. Being that it was 17 years ago, we were keeping score on a piece of paper with a pen. I don't think that there was any apps at the time that did this for us. So it was pretty old school. It was a long time ago. So being that it was the generation that they were in, or the archetype, I guess you could call it, whatever you want to phrase it like, back then, 17 years ago, some of our favorite monster cards were always Morphing Jar, Cyber Jar, and Fiber Jar. So for those who don't know, because they are really old cards, Morphing Jar, very quickly, when flipped from face down to face up, forces all players to discard their entire hand and draw 5 cards. Cyber Jar, when flipped from face down to face up, destroys every monster on the field, then both players draw 5 cards and summon any level 4 or lower monsters on the field, either face up attack or face down defense, out of the cards they drew. The rest go to your hand. So we love these cards. They were like a staple in every single deck that we ran because they were so good for draw power and just interruption. And then we, of course, get to Fiber Jar. Fiber Jar, when flipped from face down to face up, forces all players to combine their cards in their hand, on the field, and in their graveyard with their deck, shuffle, and then draw 5 new cards. Essentially, this is a game restart. So everything on the field, in your hand, and in the grave goes back into your deck. You shuffle and draw a brand new hand, 5 new cards. So the only thing that's not affected by Fiber Jar are your life points and the banish pile. So we found this out pretty quick when things got banished. It was a big letdown that we never got that back. But we were all huge fans of these cards. And once that we had actually taught my buddy's niece how to play, we would always do 3-way duels. And if anybody has ever tried to keep score on a piece of paper in a 3-way duel, and you have any cards in your deck that will increase your life points, it is a pain in the ass. Especially because we love to run cards like Neospatian, Air Hummingbird. You know, things that would just constantly bring up our points. I think even Solemn Wishes was in there. It's like every single turn you're just writing down, you know, they've gone from 8,000 to 8,500 just from Solemn Wishes every time. So just constantly be writing a high score and then, oh, they got attacked, so their score goes back down. It was super frustrating. But the first time that Fiber Jar was used, and we all started picking up our cards, my buddy's mom thought the game was over, and she asked who won. We explained what happened, and she was a bit confused, but eventually she caught on to the fact that it's not over, it's just kind of restarting. Our matches would sometimes go on for over an hour, since every time someone was attacking for game, they would attack the opponent's only face-down defense monster, only to have it be Fiber Jar. And just like that, the game would restart yet again. Yeah, his mom was not happy. Our piece of paper with our scores turned into front and back, and then multiple pages, and then multiple pages, front and back. She hated that card more than I can properly explain on this video. It was so bad that as soon as someone would put a monster in face down defense, even if it was turn one, you'd put anything face down. It could be a Mystic Tomato. It could be a Sangin. It could be anything. She would glare at you so hard, and she would say, "So help me, if that's Fiber Jar, I'm going to smack you behind the nose." And that was always her go-to threat. It was basically a fun way of saying she's going to hit you in the back of the head. And it hurt a lot. She threatened to steal, burn, crumple, and rip Fiber Jar up constantly whenever we would play. It was funny to have her so riled up. We would always kind of like tell her, "Oh, I bet you that's Fiber Jar. I bet you that face down's Fiber Jar." And she would get so mad. Oh man, I loved it. Not too long after, I did move out of town, but I still kept in touch, and I sent Christmas letters to his mom and his niece each year. We would get, like the pictures like families do. They were like a second family to me. So it was nice. It's definitely something that I miss. One year for his mom's birthday, I decided to send her a Fiber Jar in the mail because I was missing her and I felt a little sentimental. So I ripped one of my Fiber Jars in half and I put it in a white envelope and I put a note with it that said something to the effect of, "Here, at least this Fiber Jar can never be used against you ever again. Happy birthday." So I found out from my buddy that she actually put those half pieces in a frame and displayed it in her apartment. She thought it was the greatest thing. When she passed away, my buddy thought I should be the one to take possession of it. So here we are, 17 years later. I still have it displayed where I keep all my cards to remind me of the wonderful woman who we loved to torment with this card, and who made us all laugh and gave us great memories when we were younger and playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And that is the story of my ripped Fiber Jar. Just a nice, wholesome story. Something funny, something to hopefully make you guys laugh. But I have this sitting on my display, so I figured, you know what? I'm going to share the story with you guys. So, if you like the story, if you like what you've heard, if you think that just having a ripped Fiber Jar in a frame is funny, give the video a like. If you're not already, please subscribe. As you can see in the background, we have some beautiful Blue Eyes things here. I will be making some nice pack opening videos coming shortly, but this was just a nice filler to kind of get us through the week. So that's it from me, guys. You guys all take care. Hope you had fun watching the video, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye.